Have you ever found yourself scrolling through a shopping site for hours, only to end up buying nothing? Or spent ages deciding on an order for delivery, only to decide in the end that you won't order at all? When faced with choices, we often struggle to make decisions, unsure of what to pick, fearing that we might miss out on something better. The truth is, this choice paralysis isn't just an issue when it comes to shopping. It's everywhere in our lives. Whether it's work, social gatherings, or even what to have for dinner, we're often caught in a web of indecision. We've all experienced that anxiety from having too many options, sometimes wasting far too much time on what should be a simple decision. Today, we'll dive into why we struggle with choices and how Stoicism can help us make decisions with ease and say goodbye to the stress. If you often find yourself lost in indecision, keep reading. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on more practical tips to make your life easier. When we find ourselves trapped in a decision-making dilemma, it's not that our brain is working against us. In fact, it's trying its best to make the best decision. Psychologists call this phenomenon choice overload or decision fatigue. Simply put, the more choices we have, the more our brain becomes overloaded and struggles to process information efficiently. Have you ever had the experience where you're just trying to quickly decide what to eat tonight, but while scrolling through a menu, you get bogged down in options? In the end, you haven't made a decision and have completely lost your appetite. When our brain has to process too many choices, it's like a computer running at full capacity. It slows down, and our confidence in making decisions drops too. Behind this, there's a mechanism called cognitive load. The human brain evolved to deal with complex but limited decision-making situations. Like when we face life or death choices, we focus entirely and make quick decisions. However, modern society provides us with an overwhelming number of choices, from shopping to eating to career planning. Every small decision triggers our thinking and judgment, leading to cognitive overload. Every time we make a choice, our brain uses up cognitive resources. Over time, the accumulation of these small decisions makes our brain feel fatigued, which lowers our confidence in making decisions. This is why we often feel anxious and procrastinate when facing important choices. At this point, another psychological phenomenon comes into play: regret aversion. We're afraid that if we make a decision and it doesn't turn out as expected, we'll feel regret, and we worry about missing out on a better option. For example, you might decide not to attend a gathering, and later, thinking about the possibility of missing out on seeing friends, you start feeling regret. This emotion compounds, making us more hesitant the next time we need to decide. Our brains crave certainty and predictable outcomes, but in an information-overloaded environment, making decisions becomes more complex, which leads to the anxiety of, what if I make the wrong choice? This anxiety, in turn, exacerbates our tendency to procrastinate even with seemingly trivial decisions. Have you experienced something similar? Like when you're faced with a pile of clothes, and even though you know you don't have much time, you stop and keep rethinking the options, only to end up choosing nothing at all. This fear of missing out on a better choice isn't a personal flaw. It's a natural response from our brain. Everyone has experienced this to some degree. The essence of this anxiety is that we often overthink, what if this choice is the wrong one? And forget an important fact. Making a decision is, in itself, the first step toward opening up more possibilities for the future. When we talk about Stoicism, many people might associate it with a bunch of abstract philosophical terms, thinking that these ideas are too far removed from their everyday lives. But in reality, the core principles of Stoicism are simple and practical. Focus on what you can control. In life, we often feel overwhelmed by too many choices, worried that we might miss out on a better option, or get bogged down by overthinking the outcomes, which prevents us from making decisions. The wisdom of Stoicism lies in helping us clear up these concerns, focus on what we can control, and make wiser decisions while reducing unnecessary anxiety. Let go of uncertainty. Relax your mind. A common problem we face is our obsession with finding the perfect choice. When confronted with many options, we often think, what if I make the wrong choice? We get stuck in a fear of missing out on a better option dilemma. For example, when choosing a restaurant, we might waste time scrolling through menus or comparing reviews, trying to find the perfect one. However, Stoicism reminds us that true wisdom isn't about finding the perfect answer, but learning to accept and let go of uncertainty. In fact, there is no such thing as a perfect choice in life. The best decision often comes from a mindset of choose and enjoy the moment. Focus on the present, make the decision. Once we learn to let go of the obsession with the perfect choice, we can focus better on making decisions. Stoicism encourages us not to get caught up in what the best choice is, but to focus on what we can control. For example, when choosing a restaurant, the key isn't picking the best one, but making a decision and enjoying the dining experience. You might choose an average restaurant, but if you focus on enjoying the meal and appreciating the time with friends or family, you'll find that you don't stress about the choice as much and might even enjoy it more. This principle also applies to bigger decisions. For instance, when choosing a job, we often get caught up in finding the perfect position, one that allows us to fully leverage our strengths while offering the highest rewards. But Stoicism reminds us that the most important thing is not to choose the perfect job, but to take action, dive into the role, and do our best. What we can control is the effort and energy we put in, not all the external variables. As Stoic teachings suggest, the outcome is uncontrollable, but the process is. If we focus on the process and actively engage, any choice will become more meaningful and fulfilling. Action is the remedy for anxiety. One of the core ideas of Stoicism is that action trumps overthinking. Often we procrastinate in making decisions because we're afraid of making the wrong choice, which only leads to more anxiety. On the other hand, Stoicism advises us not to overanalyze or overthink, but to make a decision and take action. When making decisions, many times we don't know what the final result will be, but we can control our actions right now. For example, when faced with a major decision, don't be intimidated by the outcome. Take action. Whether it's starting a new project or trying a new approach at work, you can gain experience and feedback along the way, which itself is a valuable process. Take, for example, considering switching jobs. You might hesitate because you're not sure if the new role is the best fit for you. However, Stoicism tells us not to worry about whether the choice is perfect, but to focus on action and adjustment. Once you switch jobs, you may discover new paths or encounter challenges, but the action itself opens up opportunities for adjustment. Instead of staying stuck in hesitation and anxiety, it's better to make the decision and dive in. The Stoic mindset for effortless decision-making. Through Stoicism, we learn not only how to make decisions, but also how to approach them with a more relaxed mindset. By focusing on what we can control, we reduce anxiety and no longer see decisions as burdens. In life, we are constantly making decisions, whether big or small, but when we view them through a Stoic lens, we can approach them with greater ease. So the Stoic rule can be simplified as, take action first and the result will follow. It doesn't mean we abandon thought, but rather that we shift the anxiety from the decision itself to the process of execution. Whether it's a small or big decision, after making up your mind, focus on the action at hand, accept the uncontrollable external factors, and free yourself from the pressure of finding the perfect decision. When you learn to view life's choices with this mindset, anxiety decreases and life becomes easier. The next time you face a decision, try the Stoic approach. Make a choice, take action, and enjoy the rewards along the way. Small moments in life often provide unexpected insights. For instance, you might have once hesitated about attending a party, thinking it could be a waste of time or not meaningful. But you decided to go anyway. In the end, you found that the party was full of fun, and you even made some new friends. The key takeaway here is that there is no fixed, correct answer when it comes to the choices we make in life. What matters isn't endlessly second-guessing whether we made the right choice, but daring to make a decision and enjoying the experience and rewards that come with it. We often view life as a series of decisions that must be right, but we tend to overlook the most important point. After making the decision, we should enjoy the process itself. There are many times when we may not know exactly what the outcome of our choices will be, but Stoicism teaches us that the key is not to obsess over what results a choice may bring, but to focus on how we carry out the task. Once you make a decision, regardless of the outcome, you'll gain feedback from the process and learn something new. In other words, when you focus on the action itself instead of overthinking whether the choice is perfect, you'll discover that each decision brings new experiences and growth. By applying Stoic thinking to our everyday lives, we can learn to embrace imperfect choices, and in fact, we might find that it's these imperfect choices that make our lives richer and more interesting. Often, we unconsciously fall into anxiety over small decisions. Yes, choosing which restaurant to go to, which pair of pants to wear, or what activity to do may seem trivial, but they can still add to the pressure of choice. However, once you learn to let go of this pressure and focus on the actions and experiences of the moment, you'll realize that every choice has its unique meaning. A relaxed mindset means accepting each decision as it comes, knowing that regardless of the result, the experience itself is a reward. When talking about this with friends, they might tell you that making decisions isn't always easy, but in the end, they'd rather enjoy the experiences that come after making a choice, rather than worrying about what might go wrong. Letting choice become a natural process, rather than a burden, will make life feel much lighter and freer. Making decisions doesn't have to be that complicated. When we let go of the expectation of finding the perfect choice and focus on what we can control, decisions in life stop being a source of stress and instead become new experiences and opportunities to try something different. Whether it's choosing a job or deciding what to eat tonight, we can face these moments with a lighter mindset. So next time you're making a decision, try to relax, give yourself some space, and once you've made the choice, dive in without stressing over the outcome. The action itself is the greatest reward. So, what's your next move? Will you keep hesitating, or will you take that first step with confidence? Have you ever missed out on enjoying the moment because of choice paralysis? Feel free to share your story in the comments below. Let's relax, make decisions, and embrace more possibilities together.